ako na watoto. So nikiangalia vile alikuja akaamua kutoka ndani wa moyo wake, nikaona anaumia. Na mimi nikaona ya kwamba wewe ni msichana mdogo, hakuna mahali maisha yako imeharibika. Unaweza anza kustart life yako fresh na ukatch up na uendelee. Pale kwa Poma wewe utajiandaa vizuri. Kuna vitu zako kadhaa siko huko ulikuwa umeacha, unaweza sikujia. Popote utaweza kuwa na shida, mtu ongea. Sisi ni binadamu. Mimi nataka kurudiana na familia yangu na watoto wangu.
Can I ask a question? Venye umekuja hapa, venye umeniona, umenipa approach gani?
Unajua vile
no, answer the question asked. What approach have you given me?
Au ku-approach wewe?
Umenipa approach gani? As in, what were the things you were telling me before you started saying things you are saying now?
Unajua kama hujanisikia mwanzo wangu vile nimekuja, hata nilikuwa nafikiria ni Rose yuko hapa, lakini vile nimestukia nimepata ni wewe, na kwa sababu moyo wangu iko imekuchukia, so mimi nilikuwa free kwako. Singechukua ile hatua ya kwamba ni mtu nimepata na naweza tafuta njia gani ya kumapproach ndio tuanze kuongea na wewe.
God bless you. God bless you, my people. It is Jeff, your safeguarding officer. But on this video, I want to wear the coat of Pastor Jeff. As I always said, mimi ni mtu ambaye, by God's grace, I wear different coats. I'm a counselor. I'm most importantly a safeguarding officer that works with children and families. But I also happen to be a servant of the Most High God. I'm also a father. I'm a husband, so I wear many coats. I'm also a son. I'm also a friend. So siku ya leo ningependa tu kushukuru Mungu because of what he's done. He's been faithful and wonderful. I want to thank God because of you, our subscriber. You've been very good. You have shared our content. Most importantly, umesubscribe. Zaidi ya yote umekuwa ukicomment. It is very important tuweze kuwasiliana through commenting and talking and chatting and sharing ideas so that we can be able to effectively support families and most of all keep children and young people safe from any sort of harm. Siku ya leo earlier today tuliweza kuweka video ya reunion ya Daniela and Pastor Ezekiel, and my goodness, a lot of people shared their frustrations, especially when the premiering of Director J's video was coming through. There was a lot of anger and frustration because of how the video started, and there was a lot of sentimental moments that could be seen to a point that Ezekiel was actually crying at one point, na ikawa imekera watu wengi mpaka ikawa wanaandika vibaya sana kwa mtandao. I can't blame them because I think these people love Pastor Ezekiel, and especially together with the wife Rose and their children. But I also don't think deep down within people hate Daniela, a young girl that is trying to make something out of herself. But a lot of people, of course, know that she's a side chick and they call her all sort of names. Even as we weighed in, and of course we said that was not the very best of how Ezekiel would have handled the coming back together with Daniela. Of course, Director J is a content creator. He put it together on the first one. It was very, challenging and everybody was thrown into pieces. But the end of it is what was key. That Ezekiel definitely is coming back home. Ezekiel is returning back to where he belongs, and he's hoping and trusting God to reunite with his family, Rose and the children. And that has been not only our prayer, but the prayer of many Kenyans, because definitely It is a prayer of people who love families and children to see families come back together if there was some issues that was coming between them. Of course, this we only presume that that is what Ezekiel wants, but we don't know. There's always three sides of the coin. People usually say it's two, but there's actually three sides of the coin. There is Ezekiel's side, there is also Rhodes' side, and there is the truth. I said there is Ezekiel's side of the story. Tumeweza kuiona leo and for many weeks. Pia tumeweza kuona side ya Rose mpaka atoke kwa Ezekiel na aende kwao. We of lately have not known her side of the coin tangu akiwa huko. Pate tumeweza kuiona akisema she's moved on. She doesn't want anything to do with Ezekiel. But we don't know now where exactly she is. But the third side of the coin also is the truth. And the truth ndio hii imeanza kujireveal siku ya leo ya kwamba Ezekiel really does want to return back home. And that is the God in him speaking. Because family, is critical. So of course, hii kitu ilimkasirisha Daniela sana because Daniela, had seen, the usual side of Ezekiel in the first part of the video, and he was very sentimental to a point that at one point he was crying. Alikuwa analia, anasema vile bado anampenda, angependa wapart in a wrong way. But then of course on the second part of Director J's video today, Ezekiel switched the whole story and made it very clear to Daniela that he wants to reunite with his wife and his children. And therefore Daniela then went, gray, or rather was not happy at all, because apparently, according to what Daniela had planned earlier, is that he wanted to end the whole issue with Ezekiel instead of Ezekiel ending the thing with him. Sasa vile ilienda, I think she waited for too long, and then Ezekiel dropped the bombshell na akamwambia anataka angependa kureunite na Rose na familia yake, na anamuombea Daniela, well, and we, in her future endeavors. He was making her aware that she's a young girl, that she can always start again with another family. Of course, Daniela was not buying this in any way. Alikuwa anasema ametumiwa, she's been used, she's been hurt and all that. So clearly this tells us Daniela was not ready to let go of Ezekiel, but Ezekiel definitely looks like God has come through. Maombi ya Wakenya wengi, maombi ya bibi yake, maybe maombi ya watoto wake, pia hata yeye ndani yake maombi yake yameweza kuhit the right places, and definitely it looks like he's coming back to his senses and he's realized what he's about to miss, what he's about to lose, what he's about to suffer. My prayer is that he's not too late, that his wife Rose is going to actually see that he had missed the mark, and she's going to understand. It's not our place to say or to tell her what to do, because definitely what has transpired of the last couple of weeks imekuwa shida na imekuwa uchafu mingi na imekuwa chukizo, imekuwa shame, imekuwa a lot of issues. We've seen Rose and her family try to negotiate, trying to talk. Kuna makasiriko mengi imekuwa, kuna aibu mingi, so the woman of God must definitely be hurt, but we know there is nothing that God cannot do. God can do all things but fail. Sisi wote tulikuwa ni watenda dhambi before Christ came, and he came and he paid our debt. So pia mimi ningeweza kusema if it is in the best interest of the children to have both family, but of course hatuwezi sasa kusema kwa sababu sasa Ezekiel anataka sana kurudi nyumbani, we start bombarding Rose with akubali warudi. No, that is not our part, but our prayer is to continue praying, and we hope that Rose will find something in her heart to probably want to reunite the relationship and the marriage and the family at large. But if this is not her wish, then we would also say ni poa, because Rose pia yeye mwenyewe akona her own mindset, her own views, her own feelings, and therefore it depends on how deep this issue has affected her. But our place is to continue praying for her. There's one thing ningependa kujulisha my brother Ezekiel. My brother Ezekiel, thank you for returning back home. I pray that you can connect back with your family. And saw you praying and wishing Daniela very well and holding her hands and telling her unamwish vizuri. But I speak now as a man of God. Tafadhali, if you want to reunite back with your family, you need to stay away from Daniela now. Yeah? You know what had happened before, na vile mmekuwa mkifanya mambo. So if you try to connect in her in other ways, kama vile ulikuwa unasema eti haujui mnaweza kusaidiana in life, unaweza kupromote biashara yake. No, man of God. Let me accord you the honor and call you man of God. Man of God, no. You know you've been where you've been with Daniela. If you want to reunite back with your family, you have now a mountain that you need to climb to convince your wife that you are now a changed man, that you are a man, that is ready to change, that is ready to embrace the family and all that, and be a changed man, because you have to showcase that to your wife and your children. I meant to understand young child is 15. So ukona teenagers, I don't know if the other one is older than 19, but watoto wako, they understand all this. I want to believe God, they've got mobile phones so they can see everything that is happening. So they've gone so much of the last couple of months or weeks. So definitely one of the things ningekujulisha, if you want things to go well and for your healing to begin, you need to cut ties with that young lady. There's no reason as to why you need her. And I think she was telling you ukweli ya kwamba, yes, you are not, hamjaachana kama enemies lakini, but if you want now to go back to your family, you need to completely cut ties. There's no reason as to why. Hamna mtoto na Daniela, hakuna biashara mmeshikania na pamoja na Daniela, hakuna relative ambaye wameshikana. Part ways so that you can focus and concentrate on hearing God and loving your family, caring and loving your wife as Christ loved the church. You cannot tell me that you're going to focus and you want to go back to your family na unasema bado eti unaweza kupromote Daniela biashara au mnaweza kukutana. I know the second part of the video, wakati kikuja kuisha mlisema you may want to meet again. I will be very careful if I were you, especially if you want to reunite with your wife. And if your wife was to embrace you again, you need to really convince her that you are serious. There are issues, of course, and words that have gone round that where you are worried about easy cases kotini. So there's a possibility unataka case ikuwe dropped and then you can go back to your old ways. I pray that that is not the case. But what I'm saying to you as a man of God is that pray and ask God to give you the grace, the love, the joy, the peace, the understanding to part ways with that young lady. Whatever you had is now gone, dusted. Yeah? Sasa focus on your children and your family and your God. Wewe ni mtumishi wa Mungu. When you began with Daniela, mlianzia na mambo ya kumcancel nini, kumwombea, and then things went very wrong. So you've done things with Daniela that you shouldn't have done. So if you start and you continue connecting with her, whether ni kibiashara, to be honest, hata kama Daniela alikuwa mnafanya una connect na biashara zake, cut that business out, because God can open other doors. Because if you want to keep your marriage together, you cannot continue to mix yourself with Daniela, because you've already gone too far with her. So if you continue meeting with her, you are going to find yourself drifting back to your old ways. So tafadhali, even if ungependa kwenda kumwomba Amadi msamaha, na hata kama, because I heard that Daniela anasema pia angependa kukutana na Rose ili aweze kumwomba msamaha, and I think that is in order, you to say sorry to Amadi, and definitely Daniela to say sorry to Rose. That does not need to happen with you and Rose and Amadi and all that. Jay can organize that if he needs to continue to sorting that. He's been doing this. He can organize that. Sio lazima ukue hapo. But of course, a lot of people would say it would be nice for Daniela to apologize to Rose in your presence. I think a lot of people would want to see that, so that they can see genuinely you are now appreciating your wife in front of, Daniela. That is fine, that can happen, but after that, part ways. Unaweza kukutana na Amadi peke yako, I don't know, you don't even have to have Jay there. You can meet with maybe uko na namba zake, or ask Jay to organize that. But to my understanding, Amadi and Daniela, I don't think they are together. So again, you can quickly start to sort this out and get it out and done, so that you can focus on your family. Our prayer for you, Ezekiel, is that you can come back to your family and that you can reunite back to your family. We pray that your wife will find a special place in her heart to allow you back into her life. And if she does, show yourself worthy of that. Love your family and love your children. But most importantly, love God. Thank you very much, guys. Please tia comment yako hapa tusikie vile ungesema, na let us know if you think Ezekiel ana deserve a second chance kutoka kwa bibi yake na watoto wake, because we believe he does, because hakuna mtu hahitaji ama hafai kupatiwa second chance. I mean, God gave us. Who are we not to do that? So Rose, kama unanisikiliza, take that to heart, that God gave us a second chance, so you too can do that, but in your terms. Guys, asanteni sana. Please usahau kusubscribe kama huja subscribe, and share this message, and I look forward to seeing you very soon in our next video.